Okay, so today I'm going to be replacing the screen on an ASUS Vivo 15-inch. I got the replacement screen from laptopscreens.com. Just a shout out to them because they had a cheap screen, or inexpensive. You can see she got her finger and broke the screen on it. So first thing, power it all the way down. And then you're going to need a couple tools. One is a spudger, or a little plastic wedge basically. You can also use a small tip flathead screwdriver, or I've actually used a razor blade in the past. So what we're going to want to do, one, as I mentioned, make sure you shut it off. We are going to go in between the black bezel and the silver top of the laptop screen, and we're going to put our spudger in there, and we're going to gently force it in, and then we can twist it a little bit and those just pop out. So once you've got it popped out, you'll gently you can use your finger and go all the way around and pull that away from the front. Now a couple of these are pretty tight. For example, this one here, and I know the one in the corner is going to be, as far as getting them loose. So just be careful, take your time. You don't want to break your bezel, and do these little snap locks. We'll go down both sides. Okay, now we're going to open up our laptop all the way. Along the bottom, you can use your finger to pry that loose. And you're like, wait a second, it still don't come out. Well, that's right. On these, this little hinge cover right here, you'll take your screwdriver, go in there, and pop it loose. So what I did is I came in at an angle, I went in underneath the silver part, and then just popped this little piece open, and that covers up the hinge for your screen. So I went in there and I grab a hold of it, and then we'll take that out on both sides. Just work it a little bit and it'll come on out. So now once we got that out, we'll be able to open that screen all the way again. We'll be able to get the bottom out. And it's kind of in there a little bit, so you want to work it gently until you get the bottom out. Now, let's see on this screen, or this bezel, you notice it comes down and goes at an angle. So when you take it out, you're going to have to tilt it forward and bring that on up out of the little hole there. So we have our bezel out. Now we're going to take our Phillips screwdriver. We're going to want to remove the 8 screws at the bottom for the hinges. So on a lot of laptops you can remove just one for the screen, but on this model we have to remove all 4, and then we also have to remove the 2 from the corners. So we have these 2 up here, 1 on each corner, and then the 8 on the bottom for the hinges. So again, just be careful about the screws that you don't lose them. On this side you have 2 black, 1 silver, and then another black. The silver one's a little bit longer, so you want to just remember that when you're reassembling to put the screws back in the proper place. So I'm just letting these screws fall. If you have a magnetic screwdriver, those work excellent, but you just want to make sure you don't lose your screws and you have the proper amount of them. I've had them fall in the carpet, like I said, and it's no fun looking for these little guys. And you do need them all. Some people say you can just leave it out. I would not suggest that because that's the way they were designed. So anyway, now the lid will come loose of the base of the laptop. I can shake it a little bit, get those extra screws out. So now it's a matter of taking our spudger, going from the top. You can find this little place and just peel this screen off. Now you want to be careful when you take this off about the cable that's on the bottom. That is your video cable, and this cable is for your camera, and sometimes they'll be for your wireless antenna. These are very simple to remove. Okay, so now there's a little piece of tape holding this in, keeping it from falling out. Just take your little screwdriver or your fingernails, peel that tape off, save that. And then this connector is awesome. I love these. You simply pull it straight out and it comes right out. Now, the other thing we're going to have to do is remove the frame on the side of it. That's going to go on our new laptop screen. Pull it off. It's taped on, so gently just pry it off. Like so. We take our new screen, which we just got, and it's got the remove protective film. Leave that on for right now. We don't want to get our fingerprints on it or get it scratched. We're going to line up our brackets that were on there before, and again they're just taped on with a double-sided tape. And now we're going to take our connector and line it up, and it will go straight in to the female part of the connector. You'll feel a little snap as that goes in, and then we're going to take our tape and put it back on. Again, that holds the male and female connector together just a little bit extra. We're going to flip our screen over, line it back up in our lid. Okay, now I'm going to screw in the top screws, and that'll just hold it in place while we lift it up to put in the hinges, or the hinge screws. These are little bitty screws. They don't need to be manhandled, you know, just a light snug fit is all you need. I'm going to put both the top screws in, as I mentioned. Okay, and now we're going to take that little plastic part, remember that goes underneath the hinge, and line up our hinges. So we have, remember we did 2 blacks, 1 silver, and 1 black hinge, or screw rather. So I'm going to put those in. Sometimes it's easier to put the screen up on the table and lift the computer off the table so you can put these screws in. You're going straight down. And there are 4 on each side, so we should still have 4 screws on each side. Again, put them in gently. They don't have to be screwed all the way through to the floor or anything like that. Okay, so now I've got all 4 screws in on each side. I did the top screws, and now it's time to put the bezel back on. So you want to start at the bottom, and you want to get that, remember it had the little 45 at the bottom, tilt it towards you, and work it down in there, back behind the laptop itself. And before you do this, this is a point where we want to take off our screen protector. because now we're going to be needing that little extra space to put our bezel on. Start at one corner, squeeze it together, and then just go down the side. And then go across the top. And like I say, they're just little snap locks. Squeeze it in the bottom. Okay. And then we're going to take our little hinge and we're going to put it back in. And it goes with this flat part toward the back. Work it in. They're a little feisty sometimes and don't want to work with you, but just take your time. Just remember, you're probably saving over $100–200 depending on where you take it for parts and labor, so it's worth a little bit of time. Once that's in, then what we want to do is turn it on, and boom, we got us a brand new screen and a happy granddaughter in my case. That's all there is to it. So basically anybody can change one of these screens without going into a repair shop and save you some money. Good luck with yours. Hope you have a good day.